Hi friends, it's story time. Let the wild rumpus start.
The Rainbabies by Laura Krauss Melmed, illustrated by Jim LaMarche. Part 2. The couple found the Rainbabies. They loved them very much. They took very good care of them. They protected them from the river. They protected them from the fire. And let's see what happens next. The next day dawned blue as chicory. The husband went early to the river to fish. The wife went to work in the vegetable garden. Although the wild waters and the fire had made her fearful of taking the babies outdoors, she feared more to leave them alone in the house, so she laid them on a blanket in the broad shade of a chestnut tree. A passing weasel spied the silver-pink babies and mistook them for newborns of her own kind. A lucky mother to have so many little ones, she thought, and me with none to call my own. With so many mouths to feed, who would mind one missing? The weasel approached the blanket, sniffing and prodding the babies with her long whiskery snout. But the babies, sensing danger, cried out. The old woman came running, still clutching a turnip freshly dug from the earth. She reached the blanket just in time to see the weasel bound off with a tiny rain baby dangling from her mouth. The old woman set off after them, stuffing the turnip in her pocket. Round and round the meadow ran the woman and the weasel, over hillocks and through brambles, until the woman's head began to spin and her aching legs told her they must give out soon. Then she remembered the turnip in her pocket. She tossed it over the weasel's head, hitting the ground in front of the startled animal. The weasel dropped the frightened rain baby and ran off. The old woman snatched up the baby and returned to find the others waiting safely in the shade. That night, after a good supper of brown bread and chowder, the old couple sat nodding by the fire. Shadows of kettles and cooking spoons danced along the walls. The rain babies slept soundly in their drawer. A loud knock roused the old man. As he pulled the door open, a strong blast of cold air and rain rushed into the kitchen, almost sweeping him off his feet. Over the threshold stumbled a tall figure wrapped in a heavy cloak. The old couple watched open-mouthed as the strange figure threw off his hood, revealing the face of a handsome youth, his cap pulled securely over his hair. He strode across the room and placed on the table a basket woven from silvery twigs. Its white velvet cover was embroidered with tiny pearls. The old woman gathered her wits. "Who are you?" she asked. "I am a messenger sent by Lady Coeur de Clare, a woman of vast and incredible riches," replied the young man. He pulled an object from his cloak. Suspended between his thumb and forefinger on a chain of spun silver, it swung slowly in the firelight, a gleaming white jewel the size and shape of a hen's egg. The couple stared. "Though my lady has enormous wealth," continued the messenger, "in one thing she is poor. She has been blessed with neither sons nor daughters, and for these she yearns beyond yearning. Therefore she offers you this precious moonstone in exchange for the 12 babies in your charge. Give her the babies and live your remaining days in comfort and riches, for the moonstone is worth many sacks of gold coins." The old woman moved closer to the sleeping rain babies. "Thank you," she said, "but the babies will stay with us." The old man put his arm around her shoulder. "So be it," said the youth. He slipped the silver chain over his head, and no sooner had the moonstone touched his chest than the cloak and cap fell away, and in his place appeared a woman of breathtaking beauty. "My dear old man and woman," she said, "I am Mother Moonshower. On the night of the last full moon, I gave my rain babies into your care. What loyal and loving caretakers you have been. You protected them from dangers born of water, fire, and earth. You refused the offer of great riches to keep the babies with you. You have proven yourself the worthiest of parents. But now I have come to take the rain babies away with me." "You mustn't!" the old woman exclaimed. "Please understand," said Mother Moonshower. "The rain babies cannot grow properly without me. I will cherish them as you did, and do not fear, I will not leave you lonely. See what I have brought for you." She beckoned them to the table where the silver basket lay all but forgotten, and lifted the cover. Inside the basket lay the most beautiful baby girl the old couple had ever seen. She had hair like the midnight sky, and she smiled up at them with shining gray eyes. As the man lifted the little girl in his arms, Mother Moonshower scooped the rain babies into the basket. "Wait!" cried the old woman. She bent to the silver basket, touching her lips softly to the forehead of each sleeping rain baby. Each one smiled in turn without waking. As the woman kissed the last tiny brow, Mother Moonshower and the rain babies disappeared. couple named their daughter Raina. Like all children, she brought her parents great joy, and a bit of heartache too, but never such adventures as had befallen the Rainbabies. Growing stronger and more lovely with each passing year, Raina picked the sweetest peaches from the orchard and caught the sleekest fish. Her laughter warmed the small house. Some nights, when the full moon shone, the couple stood at the window. They watched their daughter, arms outstretched and hair floating in the soft breeze, whirling gracefully across the moonlit meadow. And the old couple felt themselves truly fortunate, for their happiness was complete. The end.